Hey, and welcome to The Solid Verbal. Now would be a perfect time to consider subscribing. Yeah, that little subscribe button for year-round premium college football content. That's it. Here's the video. Enjoy. Subscribe. Does JJ McCarthy now make Michigan the Big Ten favorite? So going to beat Ohio State again this year in Columbus. Does JJ McCarthy and his presumed heightened ceiling for this offense make Michigan at his best the presumptive, because you've been on the record, stating Ohio State is not just your Big Ten champion, but your national champion.
That's right.
I don't think you've wavered from that, to your credit. Is Michigan, under JJ McCarthy, presumed starter, bound to repeat as a Big Ten champion?
No, they are not.
Okay. Make the case for me that this changes nothing in terms of where you stood before the season.
I can't make the case that it changes nothing, because I do think it changes something. I think it makes the offense more dynamic. It gives them additional ways that they can attack not just Ohio State, but really anybody on the schedule. I think this makes Michigan's offense better. Absolutely better.
Yeah.
I still don't think it makes it better than Ohio State's.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at with this. So if we were to put a number on it, and let's say before the start of the season, I had Ohio State with its dynamic offense 10 points better than Michigan, I think this brings it down about half that. I think JJ McCarthy's worth a lot, provided he can stay healthy and he's not going to make any dumb mistakes. That was the big calling card for Cade McNamara, right? Mm-hmm. He may have been limited physically with the tools that he brought to bear, but he didn't make a lot of dumb mistakes. He knew how to run the offense. You could trust him with the football. He knew his limitations.
Totally.
But he wasn't going to beat you. If JJ McCarthy can give them that level of consistency, and he's also got that dual threat component of his game, yeah, that makes Michigan a lot better. So let's put it this way. No, it doesn't make them the presumptive Big Ten favorite. I don't think it makes them good enough on offense or good enough in general to beat Ohio State, because, like you said, I'm on the record, Ohio State, in my view, is going to win the national championship.
Right.
But I am definitely thinking about that stance a lot more than I did 3 weeks ago, because JJ definitely gives them more. And I'll be interested to watch him mature throughout the course of the season.
Here's the thing, though, about Ohio State. And I think Ohio State is excellent. I think they have a terrific ceiling, higher than last year, perhaps. Schedule outside of Michigan isn't amazing. It's a tough schedule. It's at Michigan State, and it's before a bye week. They have Iowa, which is less daunting at the moment.
Correct.
It's at Penn State, at Northwestern, which I'm not selling Northwestern as a true threat to Ohio State, but I'm just talking about the road slate. At Maryland, which will probably be improved, but doesn't have the defense, I don't think, to stop Ohio State for very long. And then Michigan. I think Michigan's schedule is a little bit easier, because the Michigan State game is where this year? It's in Ann Arbor, is it not?
I believe so, yeah.
The Penn State game is in Ann Arbor. And so leading up to it, I know they have Illinois should be a win. Nebraska almost definitely should be a win. Rutgers, your Rutgers Scarlet Knights, Ty. You have a good claim to them.
On the road.
Yeah, Michigan's at Iowa, which I'm terrified of still if I'm a Michigan fan. Iowa can win that game 6-3. But the JJ McCarthy factor, one of the things that I think we're overlooking right now is Jim Harbaugh beat up on Ryan Day last year. He turned the tables. They can get turned back. But I still think there's a certain amount of confidence, even with the new coordinators and with what returns on both sides of the ball. Ohio State's still new on defense.
Yeah.
They're still new on defense in that system. We'll see how they respond. There's
a lot
of games left.
They won't be by
the time they play.
Late November, but fair point.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of consistency, continuity to Michigan that we'll see with Jackson Smith and Jigba's injury. He should be back and fine. But there are new pieces. And if JJ McCarthy he reminds me a little bit. I think he has a stronger arm than Marcus Mariota. The long strider, the dual threat. Like, we think JJ McCarthy, if what he has shown is legit against nobody, to be clear, against nobody. But if he has that all Big Ten, all American, Heisman caliber ceiling, if he's healthy, he has the skill talent, he has the line to do so. And they beat him last year with a better quarterback this year, or better quarterback potential. I'm going to plant my flag now and say yes.
Wow.
I'm going to plant my flag right now
Spoken
and say,
like the true husband of a Michigan alum.
I mean, I just have a deeper connection to the program, Ty, and you're an outsider.
I am. I am. Now, look, I'm rooting
Two
for
excellent quarterbacks. The game goes through Columbus, but right now, because of what I think Michigan's defensive ceiling is, and I think Ohio State's defense will be very good too. I understand that. And the continuity involved, roster-wise, I'm going to say Michigan. I'm going to plant my flag and say CJ Stroud, special. JJ McCarthy, probably special. But what my bet here is that there is something in the air with Michigan, and I'm still down on Jim Harbaugh long-term in Ann Arbor. But with what we've seen thus far from JJ McCarthy, once again, against nobody, I'm going to have a little faith to say the upgrade from Cade McNamara to JJ McCarthy is meaningful for a team that should still get it done on defense. And there are still questions to me with Ohio State that need to be answered. That's all.
I think that's a fair point of view. And as you said, Jim Harbaugh did beat up on Ohio State last year.
Yep.
Right? We've talked about it time and again. The more physical teams on that Ohio State schedule last season were the ones that had the most success against them.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they toughen up, we'll find out in due time. We'll find out in due time how this front looks as they get into some of the meat of the schedule here in the Big Ten. But certainly, I think we would both agree, J.J. McCarthy being the quote-unquote true dual threat that he is at quarterback for Michigan gives them a different dynamic that is another thing anybody's got to account for, whether it's Ohio State on the road or Penn State or Michigan State or even Iowa, right? I mean, it does change the complexion of this a little bit, and it is something that we need to reevaluate as we go forward.
Here's the other thing, and this is not based in data. This is not based in anything significant.
This is Danalytics, right?
This is Danalytics. Each offseason, you are seduced intellectually by a new coordinator hire.
Me?
Each offseason, you are seduced
Yep.
by a new coordinator hire somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I am too haunted by the repeated notion that Kirk Shiraka is going to boost Penn State's offense in a new and exciting way. And you have been touting the Jim Knowles hire all offseason long, and I know you're all in. I know you and Jim Knowles bound at the hip. That scares me. It scares me that you have said the words Jim and Knowles 147 times.
I have.
This offseason.
I have.
And so while you say no to Michigan being the presumptive Big Ten favorite, I say,
honey.
I'm just planting my flag now with a little bit of pixie dust faith, but the best of JJ McCarthy, I'm in. I'm seduced. Sorry.
I say better, but not bound to that level of success.